Hi, friends. How are you navigating change at this time? Are you aware of the spiritual essence that is always a steady presence and force within you? That when you turn and know the truth of the one source, the one resource of the truth of your being, the insight into what needs to transpire happens moment by moment by moment. When we stay true to our spiritual essence in the process of any change that we are facing moment by moment. Every one of us is in a world that is full of a lot of different dynamics, and things are starting to pick up speed and change at a rapid rate. They have been for a few years now, but that's even accelerating. And as a result, things that we've relied on or ways that we've experienced the world are very different. And people are awakening right and left. We are opening to realizations and having the opportunity to recreate the world. It begins with the world inside of us. What beliefs or thoughts or ideas have you held on to about yourself first and foremost? And about your relationship to the infinite essence that you are, and all the ways that it shows up as the air that you breathe, as your physical form, as other people. When we look outside and want things to stay the same so that we feel safe and secure, then we go into an inner panic when things start to shift because it's unfamiliar, it's unknown. And at this time, we are going to be going through massive times of transformation in our own awareness, as well as then in how the world shows up around us. Some will be in challenging experiences and feel as if the world is falling apart. We've always had those. The sky is falling, said Chicken Little. And, and there is also that which in us knows the truth, that we are meant to transform, to truly bring forth a world of peace and harmony, to fulfill the highest vision of ourselves, and to know one another as the essence of God that we are, the Christ consciousness, the divine light, however you want to know that, and to experience that that person's reflection of light has both its own essence, because it is a light, but it has its own filter in which that's expressing in physical form, and it has its own other filters based upon past experiences, etc., etc. So what I would invite at this time is you to be aware of where do you find your physical essence and what is your go-to in the midst of transformation and change. When all that we've known melts away, what is there? What is there is the truth. What is there is the real, that which you are as a being of light and a flowing consciousness of the divine. We define ourselves by the roles and the definitions and identities that we've taken on. But as those get challenged or fall away, then we begin to return to the truth of who and what we are. And it is a time we're in that we need to make sure that we are going back to that rather than spinning off in some story of identification of what this means. We've become, wonderful meaning-making machines. That's what the collective mind does, and the mind that we think is ours. And it really is a collective consciousness that is inviting us now to claim instead, step away from that mind, step away from identifications, to step back into the truth of your being and know yourself as the light of the infinite, as the love that is available here and now and everywhere in everything. And that to begin to see from inside, first of all, ourselves as this expression of love. And every experience and feeling that we have, grief, anger, etc., is really an expression of love. It maybe has a particular filter on it, but at the core, the only thing there is love and light. That's what it is. And it appears as darkness because it's reflecting back to us some place where more love is being called. And so we are to call forth that love, and to know if we're grieving that that's love. And to know that if we're angry, that's love. And let's get back to the core of it within ourselves. If we are in judgment, we are actually working with love in a distorted fashion. And we're being invited to come back, because that's a filter we put on that blocks us from experiencing the love that is our essence, and the love that is in every circumstance and situation. So as we begin to break down the filters that we've operated in the world, then what gets revealed are the places where we have defined ourselves as less than love, as not the light, as not the truth. And we've been living in the illusion and making it have power that it doesn't have. And it's time for us to claim our true spiritual power, our divine essence, to know that we are a vessel and a presence for love, and that love, if it is seen and known and shared with absolute clarity and purity, without all the filters and distortions, love is a clarifying essence. And when we express that love in the midst of what appears as something else, we are piercing with an arrow that bubble of illusion that would keep us in fear of not being secure, or not being whole, or not being enough, or needing to prove ourselves. All those places we've lived out fear in so many ways, and separation from our true self, are being pierced by the arrow of truth, by clarity. And love will have its way. It will melt away the resistance, and we will find that we are made new in the image and likeness of the true essence of the one being and flowing consciousness that we are. And it can't be defined in a static moment. We can take a photo of it, but we're into video these days. We're into movement. See, there are many, many layers that are happening omnidimensionally at every moment. And as we open to that awareness, when we look a particular direction, we're only seeing through that facet of the crystal in that moment. But there's all the other facets that are still operating, and we are the center point of all of it. That the consciousness we choose and the love that we share is the place where we transform our own understanding, our own vision, our own awareness, and we transform the world. So I want to invite us today to have the insight, the inner sight and vision that knows you are more than any definition, any identity, that you are not the feelings that come through you. They are simply an experience that is helping show you where you are filtering love in a particular way and direction. And as we release that and open to the fact there is only love, I am a flowing stream of radiating love. I am the stream of living, loving consciousness that is always in creative flow and play. And it is here to create anew, again and again and again, according to my ability to be a presence of that light and that love. So it's how much am I willing to receive? How much am I willing to be that love essence, that light essence in the world? It's time to set ourselves free and fully express the love, and to see only love with purity and clarity. I love this time that we're in, and the transformation that is aligning us to the light of truth, the light of our own being, the light of our soul, if you wish to call it that. That the living stream of consciousness in its wake is destroying all of the structures that have blocked it from being in its flow. Oh, wow. And yes, we can call that fearful. We can call that challenging, or we can say, wow, look at what love is bringing us to. The wonder of wonders is that love will have a fulfillment for each one of us that is beyond what we could have imagined if we allow the love and the creative energy to flow through us here and now in each and every moment. Notice the filters and just recognize them as that. And then let the love just dissolve those so that you can be a shining essence of that ever-flowing, ever-moving, ever-communicating love. I love you all. I love that love is having its way in me, in you, and in this world. What is transforming and transpiring is the magnificence of the universe expressing itself in, through, and as each one of us. No matter what it looks like and the ways we've judged it, it is the magnificence of the universe having its expression in, through, and as each one of us. And it is love eternally. I love you all. Have a blessed week.